economic concepts and principles that is essential once you that is essential for you to learn once you start up a business, and this is the market structure and the economic system. Market structure and economic system will have a great influence on the kind of business that you're going to establish. It is important that structure, the kind of structure that your market that you are going to engage in a certain business and the economic system of a certain country to understand so that it will be of help to you on how to be a successful entrepreneur. So let us first discuss what market system is. When we say market system, it is a system which allocates goods and services to the mechanism of demand and supply to equitably allocate these goods and services. Society established and adapted different market system. Okay, and what are this different market system? We have the pure or perfect type and the imperfect or non-pure. So under the perfect or pure type of competition, we have pure competition and pure monopoly. And under the imperfect or non-pure competition, we have the monopolistic competition and the oligopoly. So we will be discussing these concepts one by one. First, let's discuss what pure competition is all about. Please, Claire Dane, please read the slide.
The basic market models. Number one, pure competition. A market situation where there is a large number of independent sellers offering identical products. Number two, pure monopoly. A market situation where there is only one seller or producer supplying unique goods and services.
Okay.
Mon-
Sige, continue. Hindi pa pala tapos.
monopsony is known as one buyer market situation.
Okay, so when the first two pure type or perfect type of market model or market structure is the pure competition. Pure competition is a market situation wherein there's a large number of sellers, independent sellers selling or offering identical products. So ito yung klase ng pamilihan na kung saan maraming nagtitinda at marami ang bumibili ng magkakapareho na produkto. Halimbawa, example nito ay sa isang palengke, di ba? So, pag nagpunta kayo sa palengke, pag pumunta kayo sa lugar ng mga gulay, so yung kangkong doon sa isa, pareho yung kangkong doon sa isa, di ba? So, yung pechay doon sa isa, pareho doon sa yung repolyo, yung cabbage. So, almost the same lang yung mga items. Yeah, yung fish doon sa isa, the same sa fish sa isa, yung chicken sa pareho lang doon. So, yun yung sinasabi nating identical products. And there are a lot of sellers and buyers in a pure competition or perfect competition. The other one, on the other hand, pure monopoly is the exact opposite of the pure competition. Kung sa pure monopoly, maraming nagtitinda ng produkto at serbisyo, sa pure competition, maraming nagtitinda ng produkto at serbisyo. Sa pure monopoly, there's only one seller of the product. So, isa lang siya nagtitinda ng produkto o serbisyo sa isang pamilya. One of the classic example of a pure monopoly is Meralco. Okay? So Meralco is an example of pure monopoly kasi sila lang yung nagtitinda ng electricity sa Metro Manila and nearby provinces. So walang iba pang nagtitinda ng electricity or nagsusupply ng electricity sa Metro Manila. Aside from that, what do you think are the other examples of monopoly? Meron po ba kayo nakakainaisip na example ng monopoly? Please raise your hands. Cindy?
Ano po, sir? Like Maynilad, yung ganun po.
Okay, so water services. So sa water services, we have Maynilad and Manila Waters. Although there are two companies selling the product, pero hindi po pwedeng there are certain areas na sinusupplyan lang ng Maynilad and certain areas that are being supplied by the Manila Waters. Hindi po pwedeng pumili ka doon kung hindi ka naman under nung area na yon. Okay, so it's a monopoly. Yes, Oliver, do you want to add more? And then, ano yung example? Give me an example of a business that is a pure monopoly. Just like yung give me an example of a certain business that is under a pure monopoly, just like what Cindy mentioned, which is Maynilad. Mm, so, actually, you have to give an exact example of the business. Sige, Jeremy, ikaw.
Sir, rinig po ako?
Jeremy,
Rinig po ako, sir?
yes, do you want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Telecommunication po or
yes.
yung data
Ako
service
ba rinig
provider.
ba?
Yes po, rinig po kayo, sir.
Like what?
Sir, telecommunication or data service provider po sa Pilipinas. Hello?
Which one?
Sir,
Which one?
dito Globe
Yung ba
Smart.
sinasabi mo, yung Globe, Smart?
Yes, sir. Dito Globe
Oh, it's
Smart.
not a monopoly.
Sir, they are under one
It's
company
not a
lang din po.
monopoly. Hindi Smart is under the, ano yan, sila, ibang company ang Smart, ibang company ang Globe is under the Ayalas. And then Smart is owned by, by the Pangilinans. It is not monopoly because we can buy any of those any of those company that sell the SIM card or yung telecommunication services that they will going to provide. When we say monopoly kasi, we don't have any choice kundi sila lang yung bibilin. But in the case of Globe and in the case of Smart and Dito, we have still the choice whether we want Globe, we want Smart. So it means na hindi siya monopoly. Okay, that is another topic, which is the next slide, which is the oligopoly and the monopolistic competition. Okay? By the way, speaking of cell phone, it was approved na today yung tungkol sa SIM registration. Have you heard of that? Yes or no? Yung approval ng SIM registration, narinig niyo na ba yung balitang yon?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ganyan po yung ginagawa ng Africa. Talagang kailangan
So,
meron
all your
siyang
SIM
SIM
card,
registration.
so all your SIM cards should be registered within 180 days starting today. Kundi mag-deactivate ang mga SIM cards ninyo, ang mga communication line niyo. So you have to register yours. I don't know kung paano, how the process will that be. Okay, kung paano ba, kung pupunta ka ba sa venue or pwedeng online na lang. But you have to register. Actually, you're going to register your name, your address, the serial number. But I forget the serial number of my cell phone. That's yung ano pa. I don't know if serial number ng SIM. I think SIM. Wala nang ano ko, yung original na, hindi ko alam kung sa makikita yung SIM serial number nito. But anyway, so you have to register so that within 180 days, kailan yung 180 days? Ilang months yun? 30 days in a month. So 30, 60, so
3
within
months,
6 months.
6
Tama
months,
ba?
sir.
6 months, 180 days.
6 months
Okay,
po.
so 30, 30, 30. 6, so tama. 6 months. Within 6 months, kailangan ma-register nyo. So, mahaba pa naman yung panahon. At hindi na ngayon pwede, hindi na ngayon yung dami-dami. So, matatrack na natin kung sino yung mga nagte-text sa atin na hindi natin kilala. So, since meron ng SIM card, ano to prepaid and postpaid. So kahit bumili ka ng dyan sa palengke o sa tindahan, kailangan i-register yung sa tunay at kailangan with ID. So wala na yung mga manloloko-loko na te-text ka ng ganito kasi hindi mo makilala kung sino siya kasi pag nalaman mo yung number niya, ma-identify na kagad kung sino siya kasi lahat ng SIM ngayon in the coming days kailangan magpapakita ka ng ID na ikaw yung magmamay-ari noon. So, naka-identify na kagad naman kung a certain number of 0917, ganyan. Ito lang talaga sa'yo talaga to, okay? So, ikaw ang yan. Kaya lang yun, iingatan mo lang yung SIM mo kasi baka mamaya gamitin sa illegal yan. Tas pangalan mo ang naka-register, mahuhuli ka. Okay, but anyway, so yun na nga yung latest kanina. It was signed by the president. So, ibig sabihin, pag na-sign na into law, so ano na siya? Sir? Maristel? Naririnig ba ako? Kit Martin? Kit? Kit Martin?
Yes po, sir.
Ay,
Naglalag po yung internet connection niya, sir.
ako ba ang naglalag? O sige, pakibasa.
The basic market models. Monopolistic competition pertains to market situation where there is a relatively large number of small producer or suppliers selling similar but not identical products. Oligop- Oligopoly, a market situation where there are a few firms offering standardized or differentiate goods and services. A few buyer market situation is known as oligopsony.
Okay, thank you, Kit. So kanina nga pala, I forgot to mention, if monopoly is one seller of the product, monopsony is one buyer. So sila lang ang bumibili ng produkto yun. So now let's move on to 3 and 4. So when we say 3 and 4, monopolistic competition, it is a market situation wherein there's a relatively large number of small producer or selling similar but not exactly identical. So etong monopolistic competition, halos the same siya ng pure competition, but the only difference is that mas konti kesa sa pure competition. Okay? So, tapos sa pure competition kasi identical, halos pare-pareho. Hindi pala halos, kundi pare-pareho talaga. Ito, sa monopolistic, halos magkakapareho. Okay, hindi siya exactly the same as identical as dun sa pure competition pero halos magkakapareho. So ano halimbawa ng monopolistic competition? Halimbawa nito sa Jollibee, yung mga fast food chain natin. So fast food chain is not an oligopoly, it is not also a pure competition and not a monopoly. Okay? Kasi ang monopoly isa, ang oligopoly kakonti ang nagtitinda. Ang monopolistic marami, pero hindi kasing lami ng pure competition. Tapos, bakit siya, ang fast food is an example of monopolistic? Kasi identical yung product nila but not exactly the same. Halimbawa, may Jollibee, merong McDonald's, may burger. So may burger sa Jollibee, may burger sa Burger King, sa McDonald's, may spaghetti sila, may kanya-kanya spaghetti. Pero halos lahat yan, may spaghetti, may fries, may burger, may sundae. Pero halos iba-iba yung lasa, iba-iba yung basically iba-iba halos lasa. Actually, and probably just like you, ako, just like me, kayo din, may mga choices kayo, especially for, just like me, when it comes to spaghetti, I like the spaghetti of Tropical Hut. When it comes to burger, I like the burger of Burger King. When it comes to sundae, mas gusto ko yung sundae ng McDonald's. Sa chicken, mas gusto ko ang KFC. Pero masarap din ang spaghetti ng Jollibee kasi pambata siya. Okay. So, pwede rin yung Jollibee sa And then in terms of price, pareho lang naman ng hindi ko lang alam kung anong pinakagusto ko. Masyado kasing maano ang ang tawag dito, masyadong maraming balat yung KFC. But anyway, so yun. So yun yung sinasabi natin. They are selling similar but not identical. Pareho, pero hindi exactly the same. So then the last one is yung oligopoly, a market situation wherein there are few firms selling standardized or differentiated. So yun, ito yung sinasabi kong example na dito, Globe at saka Smart. Okay? Hindi siya kasing dami ng monopolistic na maraming fast food, maraming t-shirt, diba? Iilan lang siya. At sa oligopoly, iilan lang yung nagtitinda kasi malaking negosyo. Pero hindi siya iisa. Bakit hindi siya monopoly? Kasi pwede may pagpipilian ka pa. Pag monopoly kasi wala kang choice, Jeremy. Yan, di ba? Parang ikaw pag nagmahal ka, di ba, meron kang pipiliin kung sino yung mas higit sa kanila. Wala ka bang choice? Di ba? Meron kang choice. Tama ba ako, Jeremy?
May napili na ako, sir.
Talaga? Ikaw na ang may love. Kailan mo napili? Matagal na? Ngayon lang? Ilang araw na? Ilang buwan? Ilang linggo?
October, August, 3 months. Ay, 2 months na po.
Talaga? August pa? Okay. Ay, sana all. Sino si Kay? Si Kay ba yan? Sino si Kay? Sige, tuloy na natin ang kwento ni Jeremy. Okay, so yan. So, Claire, ano yun? Sir Airline po. Ayun, sa airline po, di po ba oligopoly? Yan, ang airline company, oligopoly siya. Oo, oligopoly siya. Yung LRT tsaka MRT, monopoly siya. Kasi sila lang yung nagtitinda, nag-offer ng railway sa Taft Avenue at ang MRT, siya lang yung nag-offer ng railway sa EDSA. Kaya siya naging pure monopoly. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kung si letter K yung love life ni hindi pala si letter O yon. Kala ko si letter O ang love life ni Jeremy. Okay. Ang sakit naman, kawawa naman si Kwan. Okay. Sige, let's continue now. So what are the determinants of market structure? So pakibasa nga si Eliza.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
Determinants of market structure. Economic freedom. The existence of economic freedoms like the right to own private property, right to engage in any lawful business, and the right to accumulate income, and other similar economic freedom associated with free enterprise economy has somehow changed market structures. Survival of the fittest is the rule in a free market economy. Those who cannot compete leave the business. This situation leads to monopoly or oligopoly.
Okay. So when you say determinants of market structure, determinants mean factors. Fact affects kind of structure. So ano daw yung mga nakaka-apekto kung bakit ang isang industry, ito halimbawa yung fast food industry, di ba? Isang industry yan, yung cell site o telecommunication industry, isang industry. Parang ang isang industriya ay monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic competition or perfect competition. Una ay because of economic freedom, yung kalayaan ng mga tao to engage in business local. Yan, sabi nga dyan, local business to own a property. So minsan, may mga tao na dahil sa kailangan ng laki ng kapital, hindi na nakakapag-engage sa negosyo yun na nagiging dahilan ng oligopoly. Bakit nagiging oligopoly? Kasi konti lang sa oligopoly kasi only big companies can survive. Pag maliit na company ka, hindi ka makakasurvive at hindi ka mo kayang mapatakbo ng mas matagal na panahon. Kaya nagiging iilan na lamang ang nagtitinda nun. Kaya nagiging oligopoly or monopoly ang isang negosyo. Okay? So second aspect or factor that affects yung business is the technology. Pakibasa nga, Ramel, yung technology.
Technology had developed good or better substitute for goods manufactured by monopolistic or oligopolistic firms. Also, the discovery of the modern technology by some firms has driven away less efficient competitors so that only very few had remained in the industry.
Okay, so one of the factors that affects the kind of market structure is the technology. Those who are rich company or to do with enough income, they will be able to invest high quality technology, unlike those with less capital who have difficulty in investing a new technology or high tech technology. So the next last two one is the government and the business policy. So will you please read? Oligopoly ang mass media. Oo. Patricia o Rio Beros? Patricia, pakibasa.
Right po. Government laws and policies. In some industries, the government controls a degree of competition in the interest of the economy and the consumers. To prevent the abuses of monopolistic firms, the government regulates their operations. Number four, business policies and practices. The presence of giant firms discouraged the entry of new firms with little resources. Cutthroat competitions, merging and buying out competitors are just but a few strategies of bigger firms.
Okay, government laws of or policies also affects the number of sellers in a certain city or in a certain country. So for example, uh, yung yung mga business tax, yung mga requirements to submit before you establish a business, sa iba-ibang city may iba-iba yan. Even the amount, okay? Minsan may mas mahal dito sa lugar na to, mas maraming requirements na. So, yung mga ganong policy affects yung number of sellers that would be establishing a business in a certain city and even in a certain country. So sa mga bansa din, may mga country na bawal yung foreign ganito lang dapat ang investment ng mga foreigners sa country na to. So pag mas konti lang yung mag-engage sa business. So ganun din yon. So, and even the mga law, yung mga taxes, kung mas mahal, mas kokonti. So kaya minsan mapapansin natin yung ibang in terms of sa local aspect tayo, hindi sa national. In terms of the local aspect, may mga city na may mga businesses na transfer sila sa ibang city o may mga buildings naman. Like for example, ngayon sa BGC, ang daming mga bagong buildings. So yung ibang offices na nasa Makati, lumipat sila sa BGC kasi I don't know what's the reason behind. Probably yung offer nila doon, baka mas mahal, mas mura yung tax nila doon or may mga incentives nilang binibigay. So those are some of the examples na yung government laws and policies can affect the number of businesses or business establishment or yung sellers in a certain city or municipality. So mas attractive yung mga policies niyo and laws niyo, mas marami kayo may encourage na businesses to invest in your locality. Okay? So next, let's move on to business policy. So ano yung mga business policies? Ito yung mga merging, cutthroat, or buying out competition. Halimbawa, ano ba yung recently na nag-merge na bangko? Hindi ko na maalala. May nag-merge na bangko with BDO ata eh. I forgot the name.
Ano sir, like Allied Bank before tapos nagiging PNB and now
Oo,
yata
nagtama
recently is
ata.
Land Bank and yung
BDO.
isang bank
BDO ba yun? So yung Allied Bank nga nag-merge sila with PNB. So PNB is under. Tapos yung UCPB, parang napunta na siya sa RCB.
UCPB sir, Land Bank na po siya.
Land Bank na.
Parang
Okay, so
parang
yung
ganun po.
UCPB nakuha ng Land Bank. Okay, I think Land Bank is government naman yung Land Bank. Okay? So yun.
Opo.
So yun ang example ng merger. Yun namang buying out, yung buying out competitors, ito yung ginawa ng Jollibee nung nakita nila na nagiging threat yung Mang Inasal sa kanila. So ang ginawa ni Mang Inasal, ang ginawa ni Jollibee, bumili siya ng portion ng capital ni Mang Inasal nang sa ganun dahil sa nakikita nilang threat yung although masarap kasi yung Mang Inasal. So bumili, although currently meron pa rin namang ownership yung original owner ng Mang Inasal, pero certain percentage doon ay meron na yung pag-aayos. So ang ginawa ni Jollibee, commit naman yung kalaban nila na Mang Inasal, at least kikita pa rin sila dahil nag-invest sila doon sa company na yun. So may mga ganun ding strategy na pag tingin mong threat sa iyo tong business na to, tong bagong firm na to, bibilin mo kung ikaw ay malaking kumpanya nang sa ganon hindi ka na niya maging kalaban. Okay? So yun. So yun. Next is, so discuss na natin what are the different characteristics of the different market models or market structure. Okay, sige. Pakibasa nga, Bianca. Bianca.
Comparison of market models. Criteria. Pure competition, pure monopoly. Number of seller. Number of seller, pure competition. Large number of independent seller. There are thousands of them. Pure monopoly. Only one producer or seller. Types of product. Products are identical or homogeneous. Example are agricultural products like grains, fruits, poultry, and vegetables. Pure monopoly. Products are unique. There are no substitute for them. Example are electricity and water.
Okay, so thank you, Bianca. Okay, narinig niyo ako? O choppy ba ako o maliwanag?
Yes, sir. Okay lang po.
Medyo maliwanag na, sir,
Okay,
unlike
sige.
kanina.
So now let's compare the pure competition or the perfect competition to pure monopoly or monopoly. So in terms of the number of sellers, marami nagtitinda sa pure competition. Sa monopoly, isa lang. Sa type of products nila, so pwede itong grains, fruits. For example, pag nagpunta kayo sa palengke or pag nagpunta kayo sa Divisoria, okay, so ang dami nagtitinda ng mga produkto doon, di ba? So anong kadalasang magkakapareho? Yung mga prutas, yung grapes, yung apples, di ba? So almost the same lang yung bigas, yung ano. So sa palengke, aside from palengke, yung tiangge, di ba? So pag nagpunta kayo sa Divisoria, halos ang dami-dami from first floor to sa Divisoria Mall lang, may Tutuban Mall pa, may 168 pa, meron pang isa pa. So pag tumingin ka ng t-shirt doon, halos pare-pareho may mga t-shirt sila, pero pareho sila may mga short na ang design ay Nike kunyari, pero hindi naman Nike. So identical. Okay, so identical yung mga product nila. So unlike sa pure monopoly na kung saan iisa lang yung nagtitinda at very unique yung product nila. So example nga ito yung electricity, which is yun na nga yung tawag dito Meralco, and water is Maynilad and Manila Water. Sa transportation din, so katulad sa LRT, so yun, monopoly din siya doon sa railways na yon. Kahit yung PNR is also an example of although may option ka, you can take a bus or a jeepney. Kaya lang, kung gusto mo ng tren, wala nang ibang mag-o-offer na tren sa inyo, kundi yun lang. Okay? I think, pero sa Japan, when I was in Japan, meron atang iba-ibang companies, ang railways nila. Hindi lang isang company ang may-ari, ang nagtamatakbo doon. Parang ganun ang alam ko. Because, ang main transportation ng Japan is train. Tsaka alam ko parang may mga privately owned doon na railways. Okay? So in terms of the influence in prices and the degree of competition, pakibasa nga, Christopher.
Degree of competition. There is...
Christopher.
Hello po.
Hello din po.
There is no non-price competition like promotion, advertising, or packaging. There may be no extensive advertising or sales promotion. Advertising is only to improve public image, relation, or goodwill.
Okay. So, sa influence in price, sa pure competition, no single buyer or seller can influence the market price of the product. So anong halimbawa nito? So halimbawa nito, pag pumunta kayo ng palengke, bumili kayo ng 1 kilong baboy. Okay, so punta kayo sa isang tindahan. Magkano po ito? Sabihin ng isang tindahan, 300 isang kilo. Sabihin mo, 200. Tapos, ay hindi po pwede, sulipat kayo sa kabila. So sabihin mo, magkano isang kilo? Sabihin, 280. Tatawag ka ng 250. Tapos sabihin na 270 hanggang sa mag-arrive kayo. So, dito sa pure competition, hindi buyer o seller ang nagde-decide, kundi both buyers and sellers decides the product. So parehong ang nakaka-impluwensya, parehong nagtitinda at bumibili. Okay? So, ganun din, halimbawa sa Divisoria, sa Tiangge, example din yan ng pure competition, di ba? Nagtatawaran tayo dyan. Hindi naman yung buyer lang ang nagde-decide, di ba? Hindi lang din yung seller ang nagde-decide ng price. Nagtatawaran sila. So, ganun ang characteristic, isa pang characteristic ng pure competition na kung saan in terms of price of the product, no single buyer or seller can influence because both buyers and sellers can influence the price of the product. Sa monopoly naman, only the monopolist or the owner dictates the price. So ito, yung may-ari ang nagdidikta kung magkano price. Wala tayong choice sa consumer or the buyer on the price of the product kasi sila yung nagdidesisyon para dito. So yun. So pag sabi ng Meralco ganitong amount. Although mayroong government intervention. Pag nakita ng government na nag-a-abuse ang mga monopolies in terms of dictation of prices, kinocall nila yung attention. That's why minsan may mga refund tayong tinatawag. Okay? In terms of the degree of competition, there's no non-price competition. So, syempre, pag nagpunta ka sa palengke, nagpunta ka sa Tiangge o sa Divisoria, meron ba sila mga commercial, advertisement, tsaka packaging? Di ba hindi naman sila nagko-compete doon? Anong pinaglalabanan nila? Yung presyo. Okay? So, sa pure competition, walang non-price competition. Ang competition nila is price. Naglalaban-laban sila sa presyo. Kaya nga tayo, di ba, kahit yung nagpupunta tayo sa bilihan ng cellphone, di ba, doon sa mga Tiangge ng cellphone, na hindi doon sa. So, di ba, nagpupunta tayo sa iniisa-isa natin matindahan hanggang sa kasi iba-iba yung presyo nila, kahit yung mga anong tawag dito, yung pang-cover sa cellphone, yung screen protector, yung mga ganon. Di ba, iba-iba yung mga prices nila. So, yun. So, yung mga ganong ay hindi sila nagko-compete sa promotion, kundi nagko-compete sila sa price. Tapos sa pure monopoly, wala din commercial sila. Okay, bakit sila magko-commercial? Kasi whether mag-commercial sila o hindi, bibilin pa din sila ng tao kasi sila lang yung nagtitinda ng product na yun. Although may commercial sila, pero ang purpose ng commercial nila is for public image or yung promote goodwill or positive value. Kaya di ba napapanood nyo yung may liwanag ang buhay ng Meralco, ang Manila, may commercial sila. Pero ang kina-commercial is Filipino values, promoting to Filipino values. So hindi sila nagpo-promote para bilhin yung product nila kasi or yung service nila dahil sila nga lang nagtitinda. There's no reason for them to encourage people because people will still buy their product without advertisement. Okay? So let's move on to the next slide. So in terms of business opportunity naman, pakibasa nga si Patricia tapos na, si Oliver tapos na, si Princess Erica. Pakibasa.
Good afternoon. So business opportunity for competition. It is easy for new firms to enter the market as well as for existing firms to leave the market. No large capital needed and an investor does not have to wait longer for a return of investment. So in pure monopoly, it is extremely difficult for new firms to enter the market. Big capital and very keen competition are very formidable barriers. There are also problems like natural monopolies in which competition is practical because it will cause public inconvenience.
Okay. So, sa business opportunity, pagdating sa pure competition, it is very easy to enter and exit in the market. Bakit? Halimbawa, katulad nitong katapusan ng month, so magka-November 1, di ba? Pag pumunta kayo ng South Cemetery, North Cemetery, o sa Manila Memorial, o kung ano mang, makita nyo, ang dami nagtitinda ng mga bulaklak dyan, ang dami nagtitinda ng kandila. So magtayo ka lang ng punta ka lang sa palengke, bili ka ng maraming kandilang mura, o sa Divisoria, tapos punta ka sa Dangwa, bili ka ng bulaklak. Then punta ka sa cemetery, magtayo ka doon. So kahit may mga 3,000 ka lang, 2,000, 1,000, magbenta ka doon, di ba? Hindi mo kailangan ng malaking kapital. Then at the end of the day, o sa October 31, o kaya sa November 1, maubos yung tinda mo, balik na kagad yung yung investment mo. So ganun yung pure competition na hindi ganun kadaling mag-put up at ganun kadaling so tapos sa November 1, tapos na, hindi ka na magtitinda. Ganun din pag Pasko o New Year, di ba? Pag gusto mo magtinda ng prutas, ganyan. So hindi mo kailangan ng malaking kapital. At yung hindi mo kailangan maghintay ng matagal para bumalik yung investment. Maubos na yung benta mo, di tubo ka na, kuha mo na yung kita mo. So, ganun yung pure competition. Sa pure monopoly naman, hindi ganun kadali kasi malaking kapital ang kinakailangan mo para ka mag-engage sa negosyo. Ano yung Meralco, so ang laki nung i-maintain mo dyan. So, kailangan mayaman ka talaga para mo mapatakbo ang isang pure monopoly na business. Okay? So now let's compare naman yung monopolistic tsaka oligopoly. Sige, pakibasa nga, Myra. Myra Valdez. Wala si Myra. Si Mark Shane Plesas.
Hello po.
Hello din po.
Number of sellers, monopolistic competition. Large numbers of sellers acting independently. Oligopoly, very few firms dominate the market. Type of product, monopolistic competition. Product are differentiated. This means physical differences and variation in location, sales, promotion, credit condition, and advertisements. Oligopoly, products are identical or differentiated. Raw materials like steel, zinc, cement, and other industrial products are identical.
Okay, sige. So sa monopolistic competition, there's a large number of sellers. Mas marami siya kumpara sa oligopoly. Pero mas konti siya kumpara sa pure competition. Kasi sa computer, napakarami talaga nagtitinda. Pero sa monopolistic, marami pero hindi gano'n karami. So example nga nito, yung fast food industry, yung milk tea industry is monopolistic. Actually, monopolistic. Hindi siya monopolistic. Ano na sa hindi, monopolistic siya kasi walang buyer, may nagde-design ng So monopolistic ang milk tea, especially yung mga nasa mall, yung Gongsha, yung ano pa ba yung mga kilalang may masarap, I forgot the name of that store na milk tea sa mall.
Macau, sir.
Sarap.
Macau.
Hindi yung Macau, may isa pa. Although Macau is an example.
Moonleaf.
Tiger Sugar?
Hindi Tiger.
Moonleaf,
Coco.
sir.
Coco? Coco?
Oo. Coco ano ba yun? Coco meron. Yung Coco.
Coco lang, sir.
Coco? Coco lang ba yun? Okay, yung Coco. Oo, yun masarap yun. Yung may cream cheese. Oo. So, yun. So, then also, another example siguro, yung sa clothing industry. So, we have Bench, Pen Shop, Human, so yan. So example. So halos pare-pareho yung tindahan nila. Meron lang konting pagkakaiba. So saan pinagkakaiba? Maaring sa klase ng damit, sa design, sa lasa, so sa promotion. So yun yung pinagkaiba. Pero sa oligopoly, iilan lang naman ang nagtitinda nito. So example nga nito yung cellphone industry, ilan lang yan. Wala pang 10 siguro. We have Vivo, Oppo, Samsung, iPhone, and although iPhone kasi iba naman siya, hindi siya yung katulad nung anong gabang tawag sa Vivo, nakalimutan ko na yung tawag.
Android, sir, yung mga Android.
Android, tsaka ano ang iPhone? Hindi Android ang iPhone, di ba?
Hindi po.
iOS, sir.
iOS po yun, sir.
iOS, sir.
Ang Android yung yung Vivo,
Yung Samsung, yung
Vivo,
Samsung,
Samsung, yan. ML lang. Anong ML lang?
mga Huawei.
Okay. So yan. So yun, example din yun sa oligopoly dahil kukonti lang. Then yung airline industry nga, so kung iilan lang yan. Okay, sa local, we have Cebu, PAC, Philippine Airlines, tsaka AirAsia ata local din eh. Although owned to ng foreign yung AirAsia. And then internationally, marami din. Pero kukonti lang din. So like, we have ano lang naman sa Pilipinas, usually Cathay, Qatar, PAL, and then Emirates, Turkish, ano pa ba yung mga airline? Iilan lang sa yung nagla-land sa Philippines na airline. Okay? At depende din yun yung mga travel route nila. Hindi lahat ng airlines din. May mga ruta sa mga gusto mong puntahan. Okay? So now let's move on to influence and prices between the two. Let me call on Cindy.
Hello, sir.
Hello po.
Ay, hello po. Sana, sir, sa influence on prices po.
Prices, yes po.
Yung dalawa po.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the criteria, and based on the influence on prices, in the monopolistic competition, there is a limited control on price. It is possible for some sellers to slightly reduce or increase their price because of the differences in products. While in the oligopoly, there is a price agreement among producers to promote their own economic interests. The biggest among the producer is the price leader. And based on degree of competition, in the monopolistic competition, there is an aggressive non-price competition in product quality, physical appearance, credit terms, services, and location of the products. While in the oligopoly, there's a strong advertising among those who produce differentiated products, but for identical ones, that is only for image building.
Okay, so in terms of influence in prices, sa monopolistic competition, limited yung control ng prices nila because hindi sila pwede mag-increase o mag-reduce ng product ng masyadong malaki kasi matatalo sila sa market. Okay, malulugi din sila. That's why yung conscious sila kung ano yung actions ng mga competitors nila in terms of pricing. Sa oligopoly naman, usually meron ditong tinatawag na agree. Like, ang classic example nito is yung cartel ng oil industry, 'di ba? Sa oil industry, meron tayong yung OPEC ang tinatawag na Organization of Petroleum Exporting Country. Meron silang cartel na kung saan nag-uusap-usap sila kung gaano karami yung production ng oil nila at kung magkano yung pricing na iaano nila. So dahil nga nag-usap sila i-decrease yung kanilang production ng oil. So because of the decrease in the production of oil or ng petroleum, then nag-decrease yung supply. And with the decrease in supply and the demand is high, yung price of the product tumaas. Okay? So sa oligopoly, pwedeng mag-usap-usap yung mga big companies on the price that you're going to give on the product they are selling. Sa degree of competition naman, yung monopolistic competition, meron sa non-price. Kanina, yung pure competition, wala silang non-price competition. Hindi sila naglalaban-laban sa ang pinaglalabanan nila presyo. Dito sa monopolistic competition, hindi sila naglalaban-laban sa presyo. Bakit? Kasi pare-pareho presyo nila eh. Pag pumunta ka sa Jollibee, sa McDonald's, almost the same yung spaghetti nila, parang hindi na 50 pesos ngayon eh. Yung meal nila na med drinks, 150 na nung recent ko. Samantalang dati, wala pang 100 yun. Diyos ko, yung parang last week lang ata o this weekend lang yung sa Jollibee ay 150 na ata yung ano nila, yung spaghetti with price lang. Samantalang dati wala pang 100 yun. Mga 5 months ago, 99 lang ata yun, di ba? So, ang bilis ng increase ng price ni...
Sir, yung Shell at saka Caltex, saan siya nabilong? Yung mga yung
ano yan? Oligopoly siya. Oligopoly. Oo. Okay,
okay.
so, yun. So, yan. So, tuloy na natin. So, yun. So, sa sila naglalaban-laban sa non-price, sa quality ng product, sa lasa, sa physical appearance, sa mga commercials, sa promo, yung location. So, makita ninyo, halimbawa, have you been to Makati City Hall, di ba? Noong nagkaroon ng Jollibee, tinapatan ng McDonald's o kabila. O, I don't know kung sino nauna sa kanila. Sa PRC naman, Yung McDonald's, alam ko sa PRC, yun yung una, yung McDonald's, tapos tinapatan siya ng, ng Jollibee. Sa Guadalupe, ando dun yung Jollibee, tinapatan siya ng McDonald's. So kung saan merong yung isa, tatapatan ng isa. Okay, so in terms of location, dun sila naglalaban-laban din. Okay? Sa oligopoly, yun na nga, yun, dahil sa ano, mapapansin nyo, kapag nagtaas yung, meron sa kasing sa petroleum industry, meron silang ano yung major player tsaka minor player, di ba? Sa major player, we have Shell, Petron, Caltex. Ang minor nila, we have Chevron, Sea Oil, ano ba yun? Yung mga ibang hindi kilalang company. So yun. So usually, pag nagtaas yung isa, susunod na yung iba. Okay, so yun yun. And then in terms of business opportunity, pakibasa nga, tapos na ako kay Claire, tapos na ako kay Jeremy, tapos na ako kay Keith, kay Cristel. Natawag na kita, Cristel?
Hindi pa po, sir.
O, Cristel.
Business opportunity, monopolistic competition. Entry of new firms to the market is relatively easy. But with pure competition, it is more difficult for firms under this type to put their business. Oligopoly. The entry of new firms in the market is difficult. It is very difficult for new firms to compete with existing firms because these are already established.
Okay. Sa monopolistic competition, madali lang magtayo, pero hindi ganun kadali kumpara sa pure competition. Medyo mahirap siya kasi mas malaki ang kapital. Pag magtatayo ka ng mga milk tea store, so kailangan mo ng million din dyan, yung mga fast food chain, so may million din yan. Pero mas mahal kapag oligopoly kasi iilan na kayo dyan, di ba? So, bawa kung magtatayo ka ng Shell, o actually yung Shell kasi ano na yun yung mga petrolyo parang franchise na yung iba dun, di ba? Pero kung ikaw ay magsisimula pa lang na oil industry, na patapatan mo yung mga Shell, so kailangan mo ng malaking kapital dyan para makapagsabayan ka sa kanila. Okay? So now let's move on to economic system. So what is an economic system? Pakibasa nga, Mark, Jason.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Economic
Hello.
system. It is a set of economic institution that dominates a given economy. It is the way the economy is organized to answer the basic questions in economics.
Basahin mo lang.
Okay, sir. Institution. A set of rules of conduct, established way of thinking, or accepted ways of doing things. Examples, taxation, banking system, profit motive, economic planning, and production. Principal objective, to solve the basic economic problems. Lastly, one common goal, high standard of living for all citizens.
Okay, so when we say economic system, it is a set of economic institution that dominates the given economy. It is the way the economy is organized to answer the basic questions of economics. Ano ba yung basic questions? Ito yung what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, how much to produce. So ito naman, kung yung market structure sa isang bansa, maraming structure sa bawat industry. Dito naman sa economic system, isang bansa, isang economic system lang. Okay? So ano yung mga economic system na yun? We have 4. The pre-market economy, the command economy, the mixed economy, and the traditional economy. So let's discuss what is a pre-market economy. Pakibasa nga, Maristel. Andiyan pa ba si Maristel? At hindi pa rin pa. Nelisa Gadiao.
Free market economy. The factors of production or distribution are owned and managed by private individuals or corporations. It has been known by the terms of market economy or laissez-faire economy. The latter are French word which means no government intervention in economic affairs. Its essential characteristics are private property, economic freedom, free competition, and profit motive.
Okay, so when we say pre-market economy, it is a kind of economic system wherein everything, the production and distribution are owned or managed by the private individual. There is no government intervention. So lahat ng resources ng bansa ay pag-aari ng private sector. That's why there is a private property, there's economic freedom kasi lahat ay merong right to engage in business, right to own property, right to consume whatever goods that they want to, and then free competition. So dahil nga ang daming pwede magtinda, so maraming competition and profit-oriented. And then the next one is the command economy. So ang command economy naman, kabaligtaran siya ng free market economy. Pakibasa nga, Myra.
Command economy is exactly the opposite of capitalism, free market economy. The factors of production and distribution are owned and managed by the state. It is called a communism or laissez society. The essential characteristics of economies are no private property, no free competition. The government is the only seller. No economic freedom, no profit motive, presence of central planning.
Okay, so yung command economy naman is the exact opposite of the free market economy or laissez-faire economy. Dito, everything is owned and controlled by the state. So lahat ng mamay-ari ng gobyerno. So ang gobyerno ang nagdi-decide kung ano yung gagawing produkto at kung paano ito i-distribute. So no private property kasi nga lahat ay pag-aari ng pamahalaan. So ang tao ay hindi pwedeng mag-ari. Magtatrabaho sila pero yung sahod nila ay galing sa gobyerno at yung hindi sila pwedeng bumili ng mga properties na it is being provided by the government. No competition kasi the only seller of the products is the government. So wala na competition na nangyayari. And then no economic freedom kasi wala kang karapatang mag-engage sa negosyo. No profit motive kasi bakit ka magpo-profit oriented kung hindi ka naman kikita dahil hindi ka naman pwedeng magnegosyo, di ba? And then there's a presence of central planning, which is the government. Okay? And then the last one, we have the mixed economy and traditional economy. Pakibasa nga, Maristel. Si Maristel na lang ata ang hindi pa nagsasalita. Sino pa ang hindi nagsasalita sa inyo? Hindi ko pa natatawag today. Pakitaas ang kamay kung sino hindi ko pa natatawag. So lahat na natawag ko except kay Maristel. Am I correct? So, okay. Kung correct ako, so balik na tayo dun sa iba pang So, balikan ko si Eliza. Eliza, narinig mo ako?
Yes, sir. Anong number ulit?
Number 3.
Mixed economy. It is a combination of free market economy and command economy. The major and strategic industries are owned and managed by the state, while the minor industry belong to the private sector. Its essential characteristics constitute both those of free market and command economy.
Okay. So, yung traditional ba, nabasa mo na rin? Oo, nabasa na. So, mixed economy, this is a combination of a free market and command economy. Hi, good afternoon, John Michael Manile. Welcome. We're about to end the class. Okay. Bakit ngayon ka lang? Bakit ngayon ka lang dumating sa klase ko? Okay, salamat sa atensyon. Narinig ba ako? Narinig ako, Claire?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Si John Michael lang hindi ako naririnig. Okay, but anyway, sige, tuloy na natin. So yun na nga. So as I was saying, it is a combination of a free market. So ibig sabihin, may government intervention, may private and public ownership. So pwede mag-own ang gobyerno, pwede mag-own ang private, pwedeng mag-engage ang gobyerno sa negosyo, pwede mag-engage ang private entity. So basically, sa panahon ngayon, lahat ng bansa ay mixed economy na, including the Philippines. Mixed economy tayo, di ba? Meron tayo private and private. So dati-rate, nung may mga communist country pa, yun, sila yung katulad ng China, yung USSR, sila ay command economy. Okay? I think North Korea ata na lang ang nagtitira. Pero yung dahil nga sa Vietnam, wala na communism sa Vietnam. Ang USSR, wala na ngayon. So, ang China, free market na rin sila kasi mga private sectors na yung nag-engage na sa kanila. So, in most countries, mixed economy na. Combination na siya ng command and and then the last one is traditional economy. Ito yung kinds of economy na based doon sa mga customs and tradition. So nangyayari itong tradition nung mga before the civilization. Ito yung mga primitive life ng mga tao. Okay? So basically, those are the different economic systems and the different market structure that we have in the economy right now. John Michael, bakit ngayon ka lang? Okay, ayaw ko pa Deadma. Okay, so anyway, so that's all for today. So next week magdi-discuss ulit ako. So medyo pahinga muna kayo sa lecture. Pahinga muna kayo sa quiz. So 2 weeks na ako hindi nagki-quiz. Okay, so next week may lecture ulit ako. After my lecture next week, tsaka tayo magki-quiz. Okay, so I'm gonna discuss one topic next week which is on demand. Okay, so then after that, yung katapusan ng October, that will be your quiz. Okay. Nandito ka na ba sa Manila, Ramel?
Yes, sir. Dumating na po ako nung Thursday. Pumasok na rin po ako sa office.
Okay. O sige. So, kung may question pa,
midterm daw, sir, kailan?
Kailan bang schedule ang midterm?
17 to 21 po ata, sir.
Next week na ba ang midterm?
Opo.
Hindi muna ako mag-midterm. Kasi usually finals meron ako, hindi ako nag-midterm.
Okay, thank you.
Pero titignan natin kung mag-midterm, kung magre-require sila magpa-midterm.
sabay ba?
Magre-require sila, so babalikan natin yung mga diniscuss ko previously. Okay. Yes, Oliver,
Okay,
merong problema. Ikaw, Jeremy, meron. Sino si Kay? Jeremy?
Hindi, wala naman po, sir. Okay na po kami sa midterms.
Hindi, sabi ko sino si Kay.
Sir, malaking bawas sa po sir na walang midterms.
Sino si Kay?
Sagutin mo daw para may walang midterm.
Okay. Sige. Baka
Si Oliver daw po may question.
Si Crystal.
Sagutin mo daw si Kay para walang midterm.
Oliver, anong tanong mo? Okay, basta submission niya sa sa end of November. Wala na akong binibigay na dapat by this time gawin nyo. Hindi naman ito thesis writing kaya hindi naman to Okay, bakit? Kasi tapos na kayo, nagawa nyo na yan before So there's no need for me to guide you step by step. Did you get my point? Hindi, ka naman So actually hindi naman ang entrep ay hindi ABM Di ba? Di ba ang entrepreneurship lahat ng course nag-handle ako niya no? Kahit hindi ka ABM may entrep ka. Hindi na tayo mag step by step. Basta ang kailangan ko by the end of November, final output na. Okay? Kasi you're done with that. Okay? Tingnan mo, ang tagal na ng oras, sabi ni Claire, then overtime ka na. Titigan niya yung oras. Sino ba ka-grupo mo?
Sila Cindy po.
Hindi si Oliver. Oliver.
Kami po, sir.
Daddy ko, maka-daddy ka talaga, no?
Anak na nga yun.
Okay.
Matanda na kasi.
Okay, so daddy ka ba? So, andyan naman pala yung mga daddy mo at kapatid mo. So, matutulungan ka nila. Okay? Sige. So, meron pang Jeremy?
Sir, last na po. Clarify ko lang po, sir. December po, sir, di ba? Hindi po November. November po pasahan ng business proposal, hindi po December.
December 2. Di ba nakalagay doon sa course?
Naguluhan siya, sir. Kasi kanina sabi mo November katapusan, tapos December 2.
Eh
So,
bakit?
yun na yun.
Ang katapusan, di ba, 31, 30, tapos December 1, 2, pwede, katapusan niya yun, di ba? O, basta ang due date niya, December 2. So, kailangan, o di ba? Nakuha mo, hindi mo naintindihan.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Kuha ko na po. Thank you po. Thank you po.
Oh, so sa katapusan, ibig sabihin katapusan, tapos na yan. Ang isasabi ko ba yan katapusin pa sa December 2 yan? Jeremy, di ba hindi? Dapat may katapusan, tapos na siya. Isasubmit nyo na lang ng December 2 o December 1. Okay? Kaya kailangan, hindi ibig sabihin nun sa December 2 nyo patatapusin yan. Kailangan ang target nyo by November 30, tapos na yan. Para December 1, magsasubmit na kayo. Get my
Okay.
Kaya sabi ko hanggang katapusan, dapat matapos yan. Kasi isasubmit nyo ng December 2. Kuha? And you can submit it
Yes,
earlier. Pwedeng December 1 o kaya November 30. Basta ang due date, ibig sabihin last day of submission, December 2. But you can submit that on or before December 2. Kung magaling ka at masipag ka, so mag-submit ka mas maaga. Diba? Lalo na kung inspired ka katulad ni Jeremy. Si Oliver ang taba na. John Michael, ano na, magsasalita ka pa ba? O hindi na? Wala ng tanong? May tanong pa? Okay. By the way, meron na ako Jeremy sariling attendance, nag-generate siya automatic. Actually, hindi nga tayo consistent doon sa